Look at Elizabeth. Good grief. You can't see it, but right above Slick, right here, that is a Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Randy Savage artwork poster that Elizabeth bought me for my birthday. And it's a limited edition. There's only like 200 of them, and I framed it, and it looks really cool. That's what it looks like. I don't love this promo by Ricky. It's too cartoony. He should be like, look, bitch, you crush my larynx. I'm going to f you up and take your title, and I might take your woman too. That's what I'd say if I was Ricky. Not like, we have reached our moment. No, I'd be like, I'm going to kill you. And here comes some terribly dubbed Ricky the Dragon Steamboat music. I mean, at least this one I can understand because I don't think they own the rights to this, and I don't think it's public domain music either. But still, how much would it really cost to buy the license to some of these songs? And I forgot, Animal Steel is going to be with Ricky here. This is probably my favorite Savage gear right here is this color pink and the yellow boots and knee pads. But I also like the purple version.
Well, they said he's got a lot of heart, but I personally say he's got a lot of throat. Well, because it wasn't the heart that got hurt.
They say he's got a lot of heart, but I say he's got a lot of throat. That's true. I mean, it's not really that fair to Macho Man when you think about it, to have a kidnapper who's already kidnapped your wife before to be allowed to be in the corner of your opponent in a championship match in the biggest wrestling card in history. It's kind of fucked up when you think about it and say it out loud. Like, Elizabeth just stands there. She doesn't get involved. She's not an unfair advantage. Randy Savage has already had a previous history and feud and WrestleMania match with Animal Steel. Animal Steel is psycho-obsessed with Elizabeth to the point where he's tried to kidnap her and steal her against her will. And they let him sit out there at ringside. This was unfair to Macho Man. He should not have lost this match. This is a conspiracy, I think, against Macho Man. Athletically, I mean, you got to be at the peak of both of these guys in terms of what they could physically do. It was such a natural match, too. I mean, they're each other's equal on the heel and babyface side, you know? Same size, very similar ability, equally good wrestlers, and equally different characters. The quiet, soft-spoken babyface who's not too controversial, and the trash-talking, loudmouth heel who treats his woman like shit. I mean, you can't get any different. And I think that's why the feud worked so well, and it was so believable to a kid like me. Steamboat has told some crazy stories, and I hate to be skeptical because I trust Steamboat. There's no reason for him just to lie about shit, but this... but this idea that Savage wrote down every move step by step, and you got to memorize that shit. I'm like, I'm not memorizing this. I can understand having matches strategically planned like that, planning out specific spots at specific times. That's totally normal in wrestling, but to take it to where every move, every breath, every arm drag, every mannerism that you do has to be laid out and planned out, I don't believe that. You got to improvise some things because things happen out there. Because if Savage had all of that written out in every single little step, that means he also needs to have alternatives in case, what if on the backdrop, Steamboat's late or something and we botch it and we fall, what do we do after that? You know, you have to have a contingency plan. So I guess that's just when you call it and then you pick yourself back up on track. I don't know, I've never been in the ring wrestling before, but the amount of detail that Steamboat claims Savage put into this match almost seems unnecessary. I feel like both of these guys are professional enough that this could have easily been done and a good match and legendary match could have happened without that type of preparation. It also might be, you know, your typical pro wrestling embellishment to make stories sound better than they are, but I would fully trust both of these guys to go out there, call it in the ring, and have a fucking classic match because they're both good. Really good. Oh, he's tied. You know what I really wish, though, we would have gotten, like I said, the following year, if we would have gotten these two guys having a rematch in the tournament with Savage winning at WrestleMania 4, or if these guys had a title match, you know, when Savage was champion or something. Granted, it would have to be a babyface match, or you could do it in '89. You could do it when Savage turned heel. If you can do it before you get to Hogan, and you do heel Savage as champion against babyface Ricky again. And then maybe Savage wins that match, is bragging, gets his win back, then continues to attack Steamboat, and then Hogan runs out and makes the save. Savage retreats, and now you got your WrestleMania match for WrestleMania 5 sat. I would have done that. But if only we had the ability to go back and rebook wrestling 35 years ago. The cervical vertebrae area. What is it? The occipital peruvable protuberance or something? What is it?
You got to get up pretty early in the morning to outsmart the Macho Man.
You got to get up pretty early in the morning. Nope, I don't want to. If you get up early in the morning, all you're going to do is be tired and be weaker to accomplish your goals. Yeah, well, Savage is the one distracting Hebner. He is chewing out Savage. See, this is a conspiracy. This is unfair. Animal should not be helping him. I love that Gorilla also can have heelish answers for things. George helps him back in. See, Savage has already retained his title. There he goes again. Oh, Savage is going to go up to the top, I think. Top rope, elbow smash to Steamboat on the floor. He got him.
Why isn't Hebner counting? Why isn't that Hebner?
He is counting. Jesse, chill, bro. Why so angry? No, Gorilla. I love it. I forget what WrestleMania is. I think it's WrestleMania 6. And Jesse is just all up Gorilla's ass about eating hot dogs. It's the funniest thing. How many hot dogs have you had? 7? And Gorilla's like, I got none. You got mustard all over you. Just giving him so much shit. I love this move by Savage. One of my favorites. Look how fast he's in. He was in that ring 2 seconds later. I mean, that was a very innovative move for the time. And that was one of Savage's regular moves in his repertoire. He's going to go big backdrop here. Favorite moment. God. Savage would always take those straight back and over, you know. I think he got eliminated from a Rumble that way, but Savage's over-the-top rope backdrops were pretty good because he could bump. Look at Arnold Skolin. I love seeing Skolin and Lanza out there. Oh, here we go. Top rope. Big chop. Down goes Savage. That was it. That was the time. I was about to say there's a couple of sequences here where the fans think it's over because you're so far away and it's so hard to see and it's so dark and even the screens aren't that visible. That count right there, the fans, everybody around me thought it was over. I remember thinking that was the finish and then realizing it was still going on. But you could smell it, though. Like, the fans could feel that Savage was going to drop the title here. I mean, for Savage to not drop the title would be pretty incredible for him to overcome this conspiracy against him to put a kidnapping maniac in the corner of his opponent, which is just not fair. Ugh. We're getting very close. You're getting this little flurry of finishing attempts here. This is another one where I kind of thought it would be it. See? Another pop, too, from the crowd. That was happening every time they went for a pinning combination because just from your vantage point, it looks like you thought it was over. That's the Kurt Hennig bump. Rolled all the way through, backwards. Kicked out again. Kicked out strongly, too. Hebner's counting slow, says Jesse. Good leverage move by Savage. And there goes Dave with the bump. Dave Ebner with the bump of the century. What a conspiracy. So now he's going to, hit his big elbow and have Steamboat beat? He did get him. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's horse shit, man. I don't know where fans get this idea this is the greatest match of all time. This is a conspiracy for the ages, man. The WWF conspired against Savage to get the belt off of him. Savage has overcome all odds here. He still has Steamboat beat, despite having his previous WrestleMania opponent at ringside. Give me that, Mel Phillips. Give me the fucking belt. Or I stick it up your ass. You'll probably like it. Oh. Animal takes the bell. Savage is going to really try to go for this bell. And look at this outside interference. All Savage is doing is trying to get the bell in the ring. That way it's close by. After he wins the match, so they can ring the bell real fast. That's all he's trying to do. And now Animal Steel interferes in the match physically, throwing Macho Man off the top rope. But Macho, still fighting, is going to try to recover. And then Ricky's going to fall into a small package and wins the title. What a match. You talk about a miscarriage of justice. I'm a little bit on Jesse Ventura's side here. I think that's where the new really became a thing. That was one of probably Howard's best new. It was with Steamboat, I think. That's what I vote. Savage, rightfully so, is pissed. And yeah, I can barely hear Jesse, but he's saying Steamboat should cut the belt in half and give half of it to George. It really, when they dub these songs, it really screws up the audio. You can barely hear the announcers. All in all, it's a historic match. And on a card that was so heavily centered around Hogan and Andre, that match was close to it. That got just as much discussion. I mean, it was a double main event in my mind because those were the two matches I was interested in this, just as interested in this as I was in Hogan and Andre. Like, for real. And most kids were. Back then, the Intercontinental title was a massive deal. And look, I mean, Savage, I remember we were at school talking about how Savage was crying. Savage was crying after the match. And now, as an adult, I'm like, I don't blame him. He was robbed. He was robbed. Miscarriage of justice.